it's somewhere in these mountains that we have Nazca Lines, gigantic drawings which were made like 1500 years ago. A lot of desert walking today. I've just completed my pretty big dream. This is Cherry, my KTM 390 adventure, and me, Aliona. And in this season we continue our travels around South America. Good morning! Cherry and I are ready to leave Huacachina and we continue our way down south. Let's ride! And it's 11:30 and I barely just got out of Ica. Like I stopped by a supermarket, got a couple of bananas, some snacks for the road today, stopped by a gas station, you know, all these like small errands that one has to do and wastes a lot of time doing them. And this part of the Pan American is just this good old single lane with some bushes, a little bit of trash here and there, and an occasional view of the dunes when there is an opening in the bushes. I mean, really not too bad. And I have one comment about my stay in Huacachina, because like it's a tourist place and usually I don't like those, you know, it's all those sellers like, oh, come on here, we have the best pizza, come have a coffee, come have dinner, come have lunch, you know. So there are all these vendors everywhere, you know. But at the same time, it's a small, tiny, and super pretty place in this oasis in the middle of the dunes. And the hotel where I stayed, it was really nice, and the people there were kind and genuinely curious people who were asking me about my trip, about, you know, riding the motorcycle. And then yesterday I went to do this tour, the touristy tour around the dunes with a buggy, and it was really cool. I mean, I like had this pure wee excitement, you know, riding the buggy, even though I wasn't the one driving it, but I watched the sunset from the dunes. I was really happy to do it. And then in the end, I saw a guy on an enduro motorcycle in the middle of the dunes, and of course I had to go and talk to him. He nearly made me stay there because he was just telling me, you know, about riding the dunes, and he gave me a contact of a guy who has enduro motorbikes for rent, and he even gives classes. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so tempted to do it. But at the same time, I'm like, I should really let my knee heal before I do any kind of crazy stuff, you know, before I push myself, before I risk falling again. So I'll really try to stick to the paved roads in the near future before my knee is completely healed. And also I can see it's only 3 days before I get to the border with Chile, and I really want to advance. So yeah, I'm excited of crossing another border and excited about entering Chile by motorcycle. Maybe exploring the Atacama Desert. Well, most definitely exploring the Atacama Desert. So yeah, one day I'm planning to come back to Huacachina and ride these dunes together with my new enduro friend. I love meeting people like him, you know, he's just so enthusiastic about motorcycles, about riding, and he was so excited to hear about my trip as well, as much as, you know, sharing his stories. I love this type of people, you know, I can spend hours talking to them. And now, almost no more bushes left. Back to the desert. The real desert. And like, I always question, like these small houses along the road, how do people live here? Where do they get the water from? If you have any information about that, please let me know in the comments, because this has been my question since riding in Africa. Like, how? Just some boxes in the sand. Well, again, considering there are some small trees, there must be water not so far away from the surface. I hope. Because otherwise these routes have to be, I don't know, 20 meters long. You know, I really enjoy this kind of roads. Like, Okay, it's very difficult for me to explain it. And it's not something I would usually say, but like specifically today, I don't know, maybe I'm in like just a very good mood, and I'm really enjoying riding this road. With desert on both sides, you know, it's like not so much traffic, and the single lane, like, I don't know, old part of the Pan American Highway. With these views, I find it absolutely amazing. I'm just in such a good, chill, joyful mode. Like again, it's hard to explain, but I have a big smile on my face, and I'm like, oh my god, look at this dunes, look how beautiful this is. And the view behind me, and the view in front of me, and wow, and this blue sky, and the sun flying over the road. Amazing. And yeah, yesterday, as I was enjoying my rest day in Huacachina, I also celebrated 4 weeks on the road. I've done 4,550 kilometers, precisely, since I left Bogota, which is 1,350 kilometers more than the direct road. The direct road is 3,200 kilometers. How did I manage to get the extra 1,350? I don't know. I mean, even when I'm trying to do the most direct road possible, I'm still doing 40% more than what I'm supposed to. Well, I guess that's just me. Also, on average, I'm riding 4 days a week, and 3 days are rest days, maintenance days, laundry days, sightseeing days, whatever, non-riding days. And yeah, obviously now you watch this video very delayed, because riding 4 days a week and only releasing one video a week, we're like very much behind. If you want more up-to-date day-to-day updates from me, I also have a diary on Buy Me a Coffee page to have like a very close community. We're now getting close to a town called Palpa. And here in this area, there are, let's say, Nazca Lines, but they're called Palpa Lines. So just like in Nazca, where you find these gigantic drawings, which were made like 1,500 years ago, here around Palpa, there are also some lines similar to them, but they're not just as well known as the Nazca ones. But look, the desert is not always just flat and boring. There are mountains and curves here too. Yeah, baby. Curvy roads ahead. This is pretty awesome. I didn't expect to find this kind of happiness in the middle of the desert. Whee! Forever excited by curvy roads. And the view! Remember to enjoy the view. Whee! Oh, this is a pretty close curve, so should maybe slow down a little bit. Here we go. Whee! And bumpy. And with trucks. Whee! Amazing. Look at this rock formation. It's called the head of Inca. Does look like a real head. So somewhere here should be the lines of Palpa. So these are the lines. They're not just as big as Nazca, but I think here I should be allowed to fly the drone. There is nobody here, nobody watching, no nothing, no warning signs, so let's fly the drone and take a closer look. In contrast to the Nazca lines, the Palpa figures mostly consist of representations of human faces and bodies, and are believed to belong to the Paracas culture. If so, the Palpa figures were actually created before the Nazca ones. Super happy I got to fly the drone here, because I really don't think it will be possible to do it around Nazca lines. And the reason is that there are like small planes flying over Nazca lines as a part of the tour. But let's see. It's only like 15 minutes ride from here, so let's go there, take a look at the lines. If we can fly the drone, great. If not, then we just take a look from the viewpoint. So we're back on the main road and moving on. So it's somewhere in these mountains that we have Nazca Lines. And I'm not sure you'll be able to see it, but there's this small airplane up in the sky. So I'm thinking if I don't fly the drone too high up, then I should be safe. Yeah, but first of all, let's check if it's even allowed. Alright, so I left Cherry down there, where the blue sign is. And I'm climbing up this hill and seeing if I can launch the drone from there. To my surprise, upon climbing the hill, I found one of the Nazca Lines right in front of me. And not a single sign saying that I couldn't be there or fly the drone. So I set the max altitude limit to 10 meters and launched. And then I looked at the map and saw that the spider was super close. So I decided to simply walk over to it. This is my favorite of the Nazca Lines after all. It felt absolutely surreal. I just couldn't believe that I was so close to it. Just look at this. Like a miracle. A lot of desert walking today. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm completely sunburned by the end of the day. But mission accomplished. Let's continue our way towards Puerto Inca. Back on the Pan American Highway. And I can see it's 3 hours to go and 3.5 hours until sunset. So we don't have that much more time for explorations. But I'm already super happy with how today has turned out. So I'm not really tempted to explore much more. So let's just cover those kilometers. Amazing. I've just completed my pretty big dream, because last time I could only see the Nazca Lines from the plane, and this time I saw them from 1 meter distance, you know. I could see how wide the lines actually are. This is so cool. Super happy about it. Look at this sand tornado thing. I think I'll let it pass. I don't want to go straight into it. Oh wow, this is crazy. Alright, now we're free to go. Oh wow. Pretty insane. Oh my god, it is so nice and refreshing to be riding again. All my sweat is now being evaporated and cools me down. Oh, amazing. And this is the Nazca town. Something like 20 kilometers further down the road. The center street of the town, of the Nazca town. And along the road you can see a lot of the Nazca Lines found in the desert. Look at the amount of windmills here. There is a good reason for them to be here. Luckily I'm going like in the direction of the wind or against the wind, so I don't feel it. I do feel it, but it doesn't bother me. But at the same time I can also see that the gasoline consumption is going up. It's still not critical, but it's quite a significant increase over just half an hour. Quick little break for Cherry and I. I'm going to the banana, and we're just here in the middle of the desert, hiding from the wind behind these dunes. Whew, just a bit over an hour left. Almost there. And we're back at the seaside, enjoying the beautiful sunlight. almost sunset time. The sunset is in 1 hour, and we have a bit less than an hour to go to our destination for today, Puerto Inca. And Puerto Inca means the Inca harbor. The legend says that this is the place where the Inca would fish, and the messengers would take the fish from the port all the way up into the mountains to Cusco, where the Inca emperors were living. Imagine at which speed the messengers had to go to reach the mountains before the fish went bad, you know. Look at this piece of greenery in the middle of the desert. These things still surprise me. Last stretch for today, but I'm fighting with the wind and the increasing amount of sand on the road. I really don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but there is just a crazy amount of sand just traveling over the road. Let me maybe just stop here for a second and take a photo or video with my phone, because I think it should be better to show what really is going on here. This is insane. Alright, let's move. Just a few kilometers left. And the sunset is near. And now it's not just sand traveling over the road. There is actually pretty big piles of sand on the road. I'd better be careful here. What is this present from the universe? Perfect curvy road to finish the day, together with a gorgeous sunset. Oh my god, how did I deserve this? Whee! Oh my god, what a day! Puerto Inca. And with this sunset, perfect end of the day. And that is Puerto Inca. Let's see if there is anybody in the hotel.